Hey guys, so I'm going to show you something that I've been kind of excited to make a video on. I just got a bunch of work done to my 91 Cummins back here. I got some motor work done. I got some cosmetic work done, rims, tires, and, some drivetrain work. So I'm going to run you through what I all did, how it runs, and hopefully you enjoy. Alright guys, so if you haven't checked out my previous video, go and check that out. But I threw in 150 horse injectors, BD diesel, fuel pin, timed it, and it was over fueling. I mean, it was cool and all because it was smoking a bunch, but I kind of thought for longevity out of the motor, I may as well throw some more air at it. So what I went and did is I threw in a Arouca ATS 3000 turbo and a BD diesel T3 3-piece exhaust manifold. Now, the difference was insane. So your stock turbo, from what I have heard anyways, I didn't run a boost gauge with a stock turbo because there wasn't much of a point. But from what I've heard, they run, 10 pounds of boost, 15 if you mat it. Now, I'm not too sure. I can't say for sure, but this one, I now have a boost gauge, EGT gauge. And this one, it max boost with this fuel runs at 45 to 47 PSI max. And on the highway, if you're going about 110 clicks an hour, she's running at 5 pounds of boost. And it is a game changer. All right, so in here we got a couple cobalt gauges. They're mounted on my pillar. So these, if you turn my lights on, they run at blue. And you can set them with your dimmer on these trucks to kind of whatever setting you want, depending on all, it goes along with all your gauges, like everything dims still at the same time. It's a really clean setup. But if you don't like the pillar mounts, they do come with a mount, where you can mount it anywhere on your truck. They were going to put on those gauges, or the boost gauge anyways, to my steering column. But the thing is if you wanted to run both, you had to get the pillar mount from what I have heard. So I just went with that. And as you can see, my shifter is pulled back 6 to 8 inches. So I'll get under the truck and I'll show you why that is. All right, so within a couple days of my injectors being in, I completely shrapneled my other transmission. Like, there was no way I was even gonna be able to drive it. So I went out and I did the NV 4500 5-speed swap. And how we did this, like, you can get an adapter bell housing, but it was on back order for who knows how long. So what we did is we got the transmission, we got the second gen bell housing, and then we got a motor adapter that goes from my motor to the bell housing. So we had to get the second gen starter, transmission, second gen bell housing, the motor adapter. And since this one is a 4x4, this is a problem we also ran into, but it was kind of our fault. So we had to get the linkage from the transfer case to my cab. So the main link, we got a 92 to 94 because we just assumed that, all first gens will kind of have the same linkage and setup. Well, we were wrong when we got it. We found out that this was meant for a gated shifter. So what we had to do is we had to take the main linkage from the truck, cut it, and flip the top of it around. And then we put the whole kit on, then it worked. But if you just would have gotten the regular adapter, it would have been fine in the first place. But this kit comes with that whole linkage, that you can see that bar. And then there's a plate that mounts to the top of my transmission to my linkage. So that all came with the kit. And I mean, it was a super clean, easy thing to do. I mean, I didn't do it because I was working. I didn't have time. But from what they said, it was a super easy kit to install. And we gave it a few test drives, and yeah, it all seemed to work how it should. So that's kind of what I did driveline wise and performance, you know, turbo, manifold. And so I'll kind of run you through the cosmetics I've done. I threw on some Moto Metal 18x10 with a negative 24 mil offset rim. My tires are 305 65 18. Now this is a stock height truck. And no, these things did not fit. And yes, I had to do a bunch of cutting. So this side's the uglier side. I'm not going to show you what I did there. But over here, you know, as you can see, I cut off the front part of the fender and the rear part of the fender. Because when I first put these on, I maybe at most got a quarter turn out of these. Like just to get out of a parking lot onto a road, it was like a 4 or 5 point turn. So I had to cut my fender, my wheel liner, and I had to hammer the whole bottom in. And then here I just did a cut. So, I mean, these didn't fit at all. I mean, it looks really good. And these tires are a Toyo AT3, and they are super, super quiet on the highway. And I also threw on some dual shotgun stacks. It's not quiet at all in the cab, but at least it looks cool. And that's kind of all I've really done with this truck. So now I'll get in it. I'll take you for a ride because I know you guys are waiting to see, you know, how it performs with this new turbo and manifold. Oh, and I'll show you how they routed all my lines to these gauges quick, just in case you're wanting to do it yourself. So what they did to run these lines, so my EGT, clearly with these BD manifolds, you actually get 2 plugs, so you don't have to drill. They just ran it right to a plug, you know, up my firewall and into the cab. So the boost gauge, since your pressure throughout your whole entire system is the same, they just put my line, they drilled a hole in my stock intake manifold, and they tapped it right into my intake manifold, routed it, you know, through the firewall and into my gauge. So, and this truck still, you know, oil pressure stays good. It stays cold, runs nice, a lot more power. I would like recommend, if you're gonna go with a turbo and don't want to go up to the S400s, and you know, I mean, this is a pricier kit, but it's worth every penny you spend on it. So I'll take you for a rip in it. I'll try to get a few shots here, and then you guys can, you know, hopefully you guys enjoy it. At 100 is only at maybe 2 pounds right now. And like I said, man, like this transmission handles all this perfectly. Like I noticed with the Get Rag that, you know, the shifting was hard. It didn't like to shift well under pressure. And this self-bend clutch I threw in, it's a 550 horse ceramic self-bend clutch. I don't think I mentioned that, but it grabs super, super hard. And first and second gear, when you just put it into gear, you don't even need any like any gas at all. She just kind of rolls into gear and you're good to go. So I'll try to get a side shot here of me doing a flyby. And yeah, but as you can see, like I was running 40 to 45 pounds of boost in 4th gear and 5th gear at max. And if you guys don't have a first turn, or even if you do, like, you know that that's a huge upgrade with just a single, you know, T3 turbo. So I'll do a flyby for you guys and hope you enjoy the smoke. Alright guys, so I'm coming to the end of my video here. Hopefully you guys liked watching me blow some smoke. You know, hopefully you like the truck and how it's coming. If there's anything you guys would like to see me do to it, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. And I got kind of something I've been working on coming up soon here. I'll take a video of it. And you know, I've been working on it for quite some time. So I'll kind of give you guys a sneak peek into that here in my next video. Hopefully that's up soon. I'm just at work now, so it might take a bit for that video to come up. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned because there's big things coming.